Hey y'all, this is Russ, and I'm here to show you a game that I both love and I hate. It is an incredible mix of wonderful gameplay decisions and absolutely terrible user interface design. The game here is Star Wars Rebellion. Here's one of the terrible ones. Even if you played this game, they will sit there and chat at you endlessly. They will not shut up. And like you play for like the first 20 minutes of the game and they keep giving you additional uh additional instructions about what you ought to know about, and they just will not shut up. So I'm going to fast forward you past it all. All right, we're back after some very long lecture by 3PO. Oops, didn't mean to pause, just want to make it go too very slow. So this is the main interface of Rebellion. As you're going to find out, it's absolutely terrible in terms of user interface design, but the gameplay is fascinating. The gameplay here is that you've got a certain number of sectors out here. Each sector is made up of 10. Shut up, 3PO. So there's 10 planets in every sector. Or, yeah, 10 planets. And so each of these planets are things that you can occupy, you can eventually build facilities on, and you can fight over. The game is set immediately after the Battle of Yavin in A New Hope. And so you have a fleet sitting at Yavin, if you're the rebels. You also have a headquarters. Now, this headquarters is not normally in the same sector as Yavin, but randomly it happened to show up in this game. So, at your headquarters, you've got various personnel. You've got Mon Mothma. You've got some various minor characters. If you read the Heir of the Empire series, some of the other Star Wars novels, you'll recognize characters from both the Alliance and the Imperials that will show up here. Um, at the headquarters, you've also got some ground troops, you've got some fighter squadrons, some planetary facilities, and we've got a fleet. How large is it here? Just a couple of transports and one transport and 3 corvettes, and just a little bit of ground troops. At Yavin, how much do we have? One medium transport with ground troops in it. That's all we've got, but we've got a few fighter squadrons and a whole bunch more personnel. Now, I am playing on the easiest level, and so the Empire probably won't go after Yavin, but it's good to evacuate anyway. You can drag personnel here. Now, the trick here is that moving things around actually takes a very large amount of time. So Leia here is in transit. She will not arrive until day 12. It's currently day 3. In the whole time that I've been talking to you here, we've gone from day 2 to day 3. So this is a very slow moving game. Let's evacuate the army to our headquarters. We'll evacuate the fighters and we'll evacuate the fleet as well. All right. Now, the thing. Yes. All right. So since we're on easy, probably the Empire won't come, but maybe. Let's look around to figure out where we have facilities. There's 3 different types of construction facilities: ships, troops, and construction facilities, which will build other buildings. So let's get a shipyard here on our headquarters. So to do that, you can't just do it easy. You have to right-click on 3PO, build facilities, target the place, and say, and then you've got this, which has beautiful pictures. It's very nice to see, but it's just terrible to navigate. All right, how long is it going to take? It's going to take 80 days, 80 turns in order to build that shipyard. So it's going to take a good long while. Going to have him automate the garrisons. All right, so let's talk about this. What makes I've been complaining about Rebellion. What makes Rebellion good? Has a number of really fascinating gameplay elements. First of all, is the missions. So all of these characters have different properties. So this person okay at diplomacy, better at combat and leadership. So you could use her mostly for attack missions of various types. Mon Mothma, of course, is very good at diplomacy. But what she's also very useful for is that a handful of the major characters can do something called recruitment. So if you do a mission, you assign her a mission at a planet you already control, then she will go off for a certain number of turns and come back, sometimes with an additional character. These characters are critical for what you're going to be doing here in the world, because you'll notice here that you've got these various planets with various levels of popular support. Red means it's a planet controlled by the Rebellion. Green is a planet controlled by the Empire. Blue are neutral planets, and you'll notice a bar at the bottom which reflects the popular support. So this planet supports the Rebellion, but not strongly. This planet leans towards the Empire. These ones are in the middle. And so what you can do here is, if you have characters with diplomacy capabilities, you can send them on diplomacy missions. The way you actually win this game is you will eventually fight battles. But the key way you actually win the game is by winning popular support. Because if you want to hold a planet without popular support, then it's going to take ground troops. Ground troops take maintenance, and it will get far too expensive as time goes by. So you need to explore as well. So I'm going to send individual ships off here to explore various planets. Remember that when our characters here were traveling to so that's going to arrive day 13. When our characters were traveling through hyperspace, it takes a long time for them to arrive. That's also true with ships. So one of the things that's fascinating about this game is how long it takes to get anywhere. You'll also notice, I don't know if you paid attention here, I don't have any long-range scanners. This game does not have any ability to see from one planet to another. The only way you can see something is to have a unit at the planet. And so if your fleet is somewhere, the enemy fleet could be right next to you at another planet. You'd never know until the two of you arrive at the same planet. Now, obviously, if you control a planet, then you also get visibility there. So if you control a planet, the Empire arrives in orbit, you'll know about it. But what will happen is that fleets will show up and then vanish long before you can get anyone actually there to deal with it. So these planets, I already know what exists. These planets around here, I will not know what's happening until my ships arrive. So I'm going to kick up the speed here. Another place that's just so terrible with this gameplay design. You want everything to move very slowly. It's basically a turn-based game. But if you pause, you can't actually do anything. So it doesn't have like a pause. It doesn't have an advanced turn button. It has a real-time clock that's always moving. But you can set that real-time clock to very, very slow, which is how you move everything around. And then you want to kick it up to fast, or maybe to medium, depending on what you expect. You notice you have to go and manually change it back to slow mode to figure out what's happened. All right, ships have arrived at Kashyyyk. All right, Kashyyyk is currently an unoccupied planet. This blue dot means it's only got one space for building facilities. So it's a very low priority planet here. So all they needed to do here to make this work better would be... the advice I have prepared for you. No. I want you to go away. Stop talking. So what you do here is that this would work so much better if it was an actual turn-based game with with like an in-turn button, like Civilization does. But of course, that would have been too logical. That would have been too good of a user interface design for this. Units arrive. Okay, we got a whole bunch of X-Wings and such. Let's see if we can build any ships. Okay, so I don't have any shipyards yet. It's going to be important to get some ASAP. I have one under construction. All right.
There is a message from one of our fleets indicating it has dropped out of hyperspace.
All right, more fleets arrive. Han Solo. Okay, so I've got characters that have arrived here. I can send.
There are units assigned to the mission which are not capable of acting on the assigned target.
All right, setting those up for recruitment. Recruitment. Now Wedge. Okay, so some of the characters here have research and design. Wedge can do ship design, which means that will give you new ships that you can build, which is critical for the end game. But he can only do it at a place where there is a shipyard. So right now he can't do a heck of a lot. We'll just have him do that for now. We'll send this long probe off to do recon over there. So he's got great diplomacy. We should send him off to do diplomacy as well. Chewbacca, as great as he is, he's great for espionage and combat pretty much. That's all you can use him for. So you can use espionage at your own planets in order to try to figure out if the Empire is sending missions to your planet. So you're doing counter espionage. Or you can send it to Imperial controlled planets to do sabotage or things like that. Oh, I should have checked. Okay, that was a Corvette anyway. A couple of these planets have. Okay, we have an Alliance fleet regiment. What I notice here is that the planet Flax has a lot of slots in it. So, and some of these other ones are attractive as well. So you can go and you can colonize an unoccupied planet if you have a fleet that has a regiment in it. So we'll do that as soon as that fleet arrives. Quiet Krisak. All right. Yes, more interface problems. You're constantly moving things back and forth. This is an interface that looks really nice in theory, but in practice is just you're constantly you're fighting to manage too many things, and you could put things away into quick launch little places, but they don't persist. So if I put this away in quick launch and then later on close it because I forgot what I was up to, then I lose the quick launch capability. It's just so bad. Okay, good.
There is a message from Master Luke.
So it looks like they both failed.
Understood.
But we'll keep them going on recruitment. Of course, you can't tell it to repeat recruitment. That would be too easy. Oh, but we can. Later on, we'll be able to send Mon Mothma over here, and we'll have Mon Mothma do diplomacy.
I have some advice that may be of assistance.
Yeah. Shut up. All right, so Kothlis in Sluice. There it is. The Imperials had some success there. Okay, we got a Lando. Now, Lando has facility design. Since we have a construction yard here, we can now have Lando do facility design. And I believe he's troop design. Excellent. So we'll have him do troop research. So that, yeah, we're good. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to speed this up. Rather than trying to optimize like I've been doing, I'm just going to keep running at max speed here. Because one of the things I'd like you to see is the combat model. Now the combat model, like everything else in this game, is a bit of a mess. But, oh, good. I got a planet that joined. Very nice. so we can abort the mission and send
R2 has
Jan
good news
off
about support for the Alliance.
to
There
Moncal.
is a message from one of our units
Kreslin.
indicating it has arrived at its
Oh,
destination.
cool. All right, so this is another thing that's
R2
kind of
says one
cool
of our
about
agents is
diplomacy,
reporting in.
is that when... Okay.
R2 has a message from one of our field personnel.
One of the things that's really interesting...
There is a
Will you
message from
stop?
Captain Solo.
Just shut up!
There is a message from Captain
Ah,
Solo.
so we got a battle. Now, I do not know whether this is going to work. So, what you could do here, oh, we've only got a single X-Wing, and they've got an entire Star Destroyer. All right, so let's go here. We'll take command.
The fleet is ready, Admiral.
Now, yeah, it's still broken. So this is one of the things that this was never good, but now it's gotten really bad now that this game is 20 years old. It's using DirectX calls that I don't think work anymore. So some of this you can't see here. This little red dot over here is that is an X-Wing squadron. You zoom in here, you get an icon of 1, but you'll notice here there are 12 X-Wings in it. You can think of them as individual X-Wings. In practice, what it really means is more along the lines of it's 12 hit points on your thing. So I'm going to tell him to attack capital ships. Although actually, I think they're going to have fighters, aren't they? Yeah, you can hear the fighters launch. All right, let's see. I forget. Oh, there we are, reset. So you can zoom in. So there are 2 fighters, 2 TIE squadrons against my X-Wing. This X-Wing doesn't stand a chance. And what you would have seen originally back in the day, of course, would not have all of this texture artifacts, but you'd also see very unrealistic looking blaster bolts firing back and forth between these. You'll see your X-Wing starting to take damage. All right. Now, I did have the ability to retreat. I chose not to do that because I kind of wanted to show you what battles look like. You'll notice that even though a Star Destroyer was here, it's not there yet. That's because the Empire literally just came in and immediately jumped back out. That's something that often happens when people are just exploring around, or they're sometimes actually just going after trying to clear out enemy defenses. Eventually, you may have an Imperial assault, but with a Victory Star Destroyer, they're not going to have enough troops to overcome 6 of my regiments, especially since I've got a shield to support them, so it's not going to work for them. Moncal Cruiser! Alright, Moncal Cruisers are awesome. But they do take an age to build, so not going to be able to do it soon. How are we doing on building those fleet? Oh, we've got an escort carrier. There we go. Well, what do you say? Let's go start assembling a fleet here. Alright, we're going to send him to Orto. That's... yeah. Let's see if we can do a little offensive work here. Now, the cool thing, you... Actually, I think I'll finish exploring this sector before I send these guys away. Oh, sorry. I wanted to keep... No, it wasn't. It was at Orto. That's the one I wanted. Right, this is going to be our main battle fleet. Man, this is moving fast. Maybe this is how I want to play the game from now on. But I always want... Oh, battle at Orto. Now, oh, I do have an escort carrier that's arrived. Now, I don't want to... Oh, wow. Okay. So they've still got the 2 TIE fighters. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to withdraw here. Because I want to save that escort carrier. I actually kind of want to save this now as well. I'm enjoying this
There is a
game.
message from Master Lu.
Alright, let's keep these guys in motion here.
I'm afraid R2 has some bad news
Now,
to report
they
for the
withdrew
Alliance.
to Bathawi. Okay.
R2 indicates that a
Ooh,
manufacturing
here they are
license has
again.
been received.
Now, remember, the Imperials
There is a
cannot
message from
see
one of
where
our
I
agents
am.
indicating it has
So,
been hyperspace
they're not
and has
able to
arrived
chase
at its
me,
destination.
but sometimes they can make a reasonable
R2 says
guess.
one of our agents is reporting
Oh,
in.
and wait a minute, did they do a bombardment?
There is a message from Captain Solo.
They did. They did an orbital bombardment of Orto. So this is one of the things you can do, is that they can destroy units from orbit. And since I didn't have any cannons to fight back with, they were able to, yeah. What? Jan Dodonna was killed. Drat. All right. Into the
R2
fleet.
indicates that a manufacturing
These are
message
still
has
under
been received.
construction.
R2 says one of our agents is reporting in. There is a message from maintenance that needs your immediate attention. R2 says that research and
Okay,
development is
so what they're
transmitting
saying
the
is I
message.
don't have
There is a
so I don't
message
have
from
enough
one of our
maintenance
fleets
to
indicating it has
build
dropped out of
more.
hyperspace and has arrived at its destination.
I don't have enough. Yeah, you have a
R2 says
limited
one
amount of
our agents
maintenance.
is reporting in.
Will you shut up?
R2 has a message from one of our field
Actually,
personnel.
I should have done that a long time ago.
How can I
Drat.
assist you?
I forgot about those options. All right. We're nearing the point where we've got a useful amount of ships here. And those ships, oh, they're all in place. Okay, excellent. So we'll send one more squadron over. All right, so let's take a look. The intelligence says that there is a fleet at Kothless. That's probably ancient information. Well, let's go ahead and send an attack fleet over there. We'll kick up the speed a little bit. We'll see. Oh no! Okay, so what happened here, they showed up, and then they did an assault. Now what this is, you'll notice that this planet, Sluis Van, still supports the rebellion, but because they've got enough troopers on the planet, they can actually hold it against the population's will. So this is actually going to be a cool little moment here, when I can show you what it's like when you liberate a planet. All right, so they have no capital ships here, but they've got 6 squadrons of fighters. Very nice. Gonna be able to show you 2 very cool things.
What are your orders?
All right, so we'll just unpause it. We'll tell our squadrons to all attack fighters.
Acknowledges mission assignment.
All right, so we'll go there and we'll go take a look at the planet. They have troopers on. So let's go ahead and we'll do a planetary bombardment. Target military facilities. And I killed some of them. Target military facilities. Now they have none. How many troopers? I've only got 2, so it's not really a good chance. Because that planet completely supports the Empire, you'd need 6 regiments to control it. So you don't want to do that right now. I think I'm going to leave that video here. It's been a plenty long video, even after I edited it down. What do I love about this game? I love the fact that this game is a cat and mouse. If you've noticed as I've been playing here, when 2 fleets meet in orbit, you have the option of retreating. Now, if you only have starfighters, then you can't retreat. But if you have actual capital ships, you always have the option of retreating. And so when you have 2 fleets that meet in orbit, the one that's weaker can always withdraw to try to save themselves for later. And because you don't have long-range scanners, fleets meet relatively rarely. And so this game builds a gradual tension as you've had lots and lots of battles that mostly were completely one-sided. and you're waiting for the one big epic confrontation. Because eventually, both sides will develop gravity well technology, which are ships that prevent the other ships from jumping to hyperspace. At which point, now you start hunting each other. Big fleets with gravity well generators are hunting after small fleets, trying to annihilate them. And eventually, in a lot of these games, what you'll find is that you've been playing this cat and mouse back and forth across the galaxy, and finally the one gigantic battle happens. And gigantic fleet meets gigantic fleet, and it's a slugfest that really feels like this really exciting cap to the entire game. This whole use of diplomacy, where you have to send people off on these long-running missions to try to win diplomacy, it's really an interesting dynamic. I would love to see Rebellion redone as a good game, as a game that had a great interface, because I think it would be world class. It's got a really, really interesting gameplay mechanic. It's just a terrible program. So, that's my summary of Rebellion. That's the reason why I love it. I'm going to go ahead and save this game because I'm looking forward to finishing it someday. Maybe in a couple of days here when I've got a little bit more time. But I hope you've learned about this, and maybe you're intrigued to try it just to find out what it's like, and maybe you're intrigued to make your own version. This is Russ. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.